Hello and welcome to Community Conversations. I'm your host, KK Konashiro. We all know Fremont Unified students go on to do great things after graduation, but some are getting off to an early start while still in school. An American high school student has created an organization dedicated to promoting water conservation as well as the reuse of gray water in laundry and landscaping. With us to discuss her gray water project is American high school, Shreya Ramachandran. Thank you so much for being here. Now, for anyone who's never heard the term of gray water, can you explain what that is?
Sure. So gray water is basically lightly used water from showers, baths, laundries. It's any water that has been used once in the home and can be used again. Okay. So that doesn't include water from the toilet or from the kitchen sink because that goes straight to the drain.
So even if you just rinse fruit off, that's not considered gray water?
Because a lot of things that you use to in your kitchen sink, like grease, happens to be a big problem, and other things like that make it unusable.
And a lot of fruit have wax on it. Okay, now I get it. So let's start by introducing the Gray Water Project. What is it that you're trying to accomplish with this program?
Yeah, so when I first started talking to people about gray water, one of the reactions I got very frequently was like, ew, that's unusable, or oh, that's dirty.
Because they thought of the toilet.
Because they thought of, yeah.
Okay.
So I really want to help combat the stigma of gray water being something dirty or something that we shouldn't be using,
right, as
opposed to it being a valuable resource. I really want to see gray water reuse becoming very common, similarly to how if you have a piece of paper, then you go to throw it in the recycling instead of the trash. And gray water reuse is essentially water recycling. So I'd like to see it be a prominent and just widely accepted part of everyone's life.
Okay, you just brought up a point I need to ask. So when I do my laundry in my washing machine, are all detergents safe for gray water, or is there a certain kind of detergent I should now start using to keep the gray water safe?
That's actually a really great question, and it's something that was the focus of my research for the 3 years, and I'm still continuing it. So you should use detergents that don't have high levels of boron or high levels of soluble salts. So avoid all powder detergents because salt is a filler ingredient.
Really?
And that's just honestly just very detrimental to the health of the soil and the health of the plant.
Okay.
So try to use like 7th generation EOS or good liquid laundry detergents.
Okay.
I would personally recommend soap nuts, which are this little berry shell that you put in water and they'll actually like release soap. So they're all natural and they're actually very great.
Is it really a berry?
It's a berry shell, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's about as natural as you can get.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they clean your clothes pretty well, especially for delicates.
Oh, look at you. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Now, you are a sophomore in American high school. You've developed this program when you were a sophomore or when you were in 9th grade?
I've been doing research for about 4 years now, and it started in the 8th grade, so before 9th grade, yes. I've been doing this for a while.
Okay. What inspired you to do this? And what keeps you motivated?
So about 4 years ago, I visited the county of Tulare, which was, at this point, it was at the peak of California's drought. So there I saw firsthand the detrimental effects that drought had on people's lives and like the landscape. And I also got the opportunity to talk to residents of Prunedale, which is another area that was severely affected by California's drought. So there people had relied on wells for their drinking water, so they had to truck water in even for their basic water needs.
Oh, how scary.
That is scary. So I really wanted to do something to help contribute to the drought solution.
And in Tulare, isn't there a lot of ranches with cattle and sheep? And so their livestock are affected.
They are affected, yes.
Okay. Is gray water safe for livestock?
I would mostly just promote gray water for irrigating landscaping and plants. Yeah.
Okay. So what are some of the facts that you feel we should be aware of, just not as residents, but as a society as a whole?
For gray water?
Or just water in general. I mean, what do you think?
I think it's important to note that we should be conserving water even when we're not in a drought, We can't just go, oh, the drought is over. Let's go back to using as much water as we want.
Yeah.
Because as the world's population increases, more and more people are going to have to share those same water resources, and droughts are going to become more common.
Right.
So by saving water and saving water consistently, we can mitigate the risks that come with drought or reduce the risk of having drought in the future.
Good. I like that. Okay. Now, in your project, you have landscape or laundry to landscape. What is that about?
A laundry to landscape system is a very simple form of gray water system that doesn't require a permit. It's easy to install, and basically what it does is it takes gray water from your laundry and just directs it out to your yard. So
are we talking piping or?
Piping.
Okay.
So it centers around this three-way diverter valve that gives you the option of either sending your gray water to like the drain, say you use like bleach or something that day, or it sends it out to the garden and to your lawn.
Okay.
And that's through a system of 1-inch PVC piping inside and purple stripe piping outside to indicate that it's like recycled water. Yeah.
Okay.
And the water just drains into a mulch basin surrounding the plant or adjacent to the plant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I'm a dork when it comes to stuff like that. So is it something easy I can do myself, or do I need to hire a plumber, or how does this work?
You can do it yourself.
Okay.
It's not super difficult.
Okay,
Yeah.
good to know. Yeah. It's like, Now, what are the do's and don'ts of gray water?
Well, definitely don't drink gray water.
Yeah.
And also don't store it. You can't store gray water for more than 24 hours.
Oh.
So it should be, that's why the laundry to landscape system is so useful, because
Right.
you can just pump the gray water right out as soon as it's generated. We've also mentioned before the types of laundry detergents you should be using. So, and also don't have excess like chemicals and stuff in your gray water. So don't wash diapers and other
Right.
common sense things like that.
Okay.
Definitely do use gray water to irrigate your plants.
Okay.
Most large trees, established plants are great with it.
Okay.
So long as you're not like spraying gray water and you're irrigating to the roots, you should be fine.
So explain that to me. If you can't spray it on your plants, you just have to have it pretty much with a bucket and dump it, or have the pipe go directly to the plant.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you spray it, what does it do? Does it hurt the plants?
It doesn't specifically hurt the plant, but it's just more of a regulation for how gray water
Should be used.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've created this program, which is great. And you've also created a water conservation program for kids.
Yeah.
Now, what age group are these kids? Anyone under the age of 12, or?
So it can be for kids or adults. For my recent for the competition I recently held for the Water Conservation Challenge.
Is there anything you don't do? Wow, really? That's incredible. So where was this competition at?
So my water conservation program is basically you sign up on my website and you choose a set of activities. You can choose as many or as few as you want, and you report back with your progress. And it's basically like this great way of seeing like, oh, I'm doing this small action, but it's making a huge difference in terms of how much water I'm saving. So the competition was basically that, except for 1 month, and whoever saved the most water. Yeah. And in that competition, one of the participants was as young as 5 years old, and some of them were adults.
That's
so
great.
Water conservation is, for any age group, you're never too young or too old to start building healthy habits for it.
And I bet you're starting to build a community where everyone can talk to each other on your Facebook or your website. I think that's wonderful.
Yeah,
That's great. Now, I'm so excited for you because you were presented with a certificate of special congressional recognition from U.S. Congressman Eric Swalwell.
Yeah.
What was that like? That must have been fantastic.
Incredible, really incredible. I actually won the President's Environmental Youth Award at Washington, D.C. from the EPA.
Wow.
And because of that, Congressman Swalwell was so generous and took the time out of his schedule to actually come to my high school to present me with the certificate of recognition. And I honestly should take this time to thank my principal, Mr. Musto, for organizing this event and for having that be something that happened. It was so amazing that happened.
I bet
it was really great. Yeah.
And I bet your parents loved it.
That too.
You also recently received a Gloria Barron Prize for Young Heroes. Tell us more about that and what was that like?
Yeah. It's really been wonderful that I'm getting recognition from a lot of really great organizations and people for the work that I'm doing. And it's really nice to know that, because just by the nature of the prize, I'm really hoping that my work will inspire other people to take environmental action, because I strongly believe that we are the youth that will be the face of the next generation. And
well, we're counting on it.
Yeah. I mean, if we don't take action for the things that matter to us, then who is going to?
Yeah.
So
this is great.
Yeah.
Now, if anyone is watching, and I'm sure they are, if they would like more information or to work with you, what's your website?
My website is www.thegreywaterproject.org.
Okay, great.
Yes.
This has been fantastic. This show went by so fast. I have a million more questions to ask you, but I got to end this show. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. From everyone here at Community Conversations, we appreciate you watching, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.